You know, here's the thing. I could take an axe and kill him, but as just demonstrated, another one just walked in and would immediately take his place. Like, there's a line to sit in the boat.
It's my turn to ride the boat.
Yeah.
Please let it be my turn.
Big welcome to everyone out there. This is episode number 3 on my series. We have been hard at work here on the server, collecting, crafting, designing, building, a lot of ings apparently. One thing that we need to do, or want to do, is actually finish detailing our crafting build. Now, I'm not going to lie, we don't have everything we need yet, and that's kind of what we're going to focus on in this episode. Erroneous and I need probably 2 more things, and the first one, well, it's a little hard to get. It's going to be through a bartering system. Now, actually, I'm really excited for this because I've never built a bartering system before. This will be my first one. And they have some pretty awesome drops, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to look forward to having access to all that stuff. But we're going to have to build a gold farm first, and then after that, the bartering system. And last of all, well, we'll get to that detail later. So let's jump over to the nether, let's meet up with Erroneous, and let's get building a gold farm. So I can hear what everyone's thinking right now. They're going, hey Exeter, why don't you build your gold farm on top of the roof? You know, you'll get a lot more drop rates there and it's going to be a lot easier to build. And you're absolutely correct. That would be the best way to build a gold farm. There isn't a better way. So you might then ask, why are you doing it down here where it's going to be more difficult? And really the only answer to that is, at the beginning of the server, Erroneous and I had a discussion about things we wanted to do, things we didn't want to do, and one of them that we decided was not to build on top of the nether for this server. And really, the only reason for that, you can make arguments whether it's exploited or not, but really all farms in Minecraft are an exploit of a game mechanic. But we wanted our builds to be included in the world. We wanted to experience the content, and I mean, even for the example of this, I really had to stop and kind of think, actually, how am I going to make this work? Because we built it above a giant lava pool to try and minimize areas that mobs could spawn. And so I have to worry about gas now, and in order to do that, I've actually brewed a ton of invisibility potions and a ton of fire resist potions. It was an added challenge and actually made it more fun for me. Now, do I recommend it? No, unless that's what you want to do. It definitely makes it harder, and there's another step that we have to do with this. That's the part that I mentioned before I was dreading most, but we'll get to it, and we'll have a working gold farm. It won't be as high producing as other people's gold farms, but it should be sufficient for our needs, and I had fun doing it, so win-win. With the gold farm built and the piglin bartering system in place, the only thing we needed was those piglins. Fortunately for us, just down the hall here was the Crimson Forest. So we hollowed out an area and the server smiled on us. It spawned in 8 piglins, the exact number that we needed. Erroneous ran off to get some name tags and I stayed to babysit them so they wouldn't despawn. And then this happened.
Oh,
Did you hit them?
I mined the gold. That made it back. Weep! Lava, 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 lava. Oh, they're dying. I killed them.
You killed my piglins and burnt my boats. They're all dead.
Well,
Please tell me you didn't use the name tags on them yet.
here's your name tags.
Oh boy. Well, servers only smile on you once in a while. After that happened, the server only ever spawned 1 or 2 piglins at a time for us, so it took us quite some time to get all these piglins in place. Unfortunate for us. Now, there was a couple issues with the bartering system that I had to trade. For example, these slabs I had to move back and remove the hopper and chest there. They were throwing items up and getting them caught on top of this little trap door that's behind them. And as you can see, I have another issue that I have to address. And I'm actually not talking about these magma cubes. I think they're just jumping down there. I can't do really anything about that. The issue I'm talking about is much higher than this. And I mean that literally. If we look up here, you can't see anything right now. But the first time that I AFK'd, I noticed a bunch of zombie piglin feet standing up here. And I didn't know what was going on until I got my camera count. And the problem that we have is mosh pitting. These zombie piglin are grouping up for some crazy reason. I don't know if it's in their AI or something, but they are grouped all together and having their jumping party. There's a second one over there. Usually they're over here on top of the glass, and I'm only guessing that they're jumping off the edge of my platforms here and then not dying in the lava. So we'll probably add a railing to this at some point to really fix it up, because this is going to be killing my rates. But now is the time of dread. Are you ready for the most exhilarating and exciting gameplay that you will ever see in Minecraft? Well, let's go and do the next step and make this pig farm actually more functional. And thank goodness that is over. Well, at least it is for you. Me and Erroneous still have a little bit more to do, and I still have that railing to add. But the farm's working. We've got the resource that we need for detailing. But our main focus this week was wanting to finish this build, and we probably won't have time for the detailing step, but at least we can get it all constructed. On the other side of this wall, far back there by the Enderman in the boat, is another valley. Not too different from this one, a little bit smaller and not quite as green. It's not a jungle. But we want to incorporate into our build, so we're going to make this kind of a tunnel, push on through, and finish this build and have it ready for that shining detail step. Remember when you were a little kid and you went to your mom or your dad and you're like, I really, 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 really want a pet puppy? And they're like, all right, well, you're going to have to feed it and you have to clean it and you're going to have to pick up what it leaves behind. And, well, you might be, yeah, that guy right there. Ugh, I feel like I need to wash my hands after that. Anyway, Erroneous and I only need one more resource to complete this build. It's one of the items we want for detailing, and that's candles, which means bees. And I actually like bees. I have a lot of fun with them. And instead of showing you building and breeding and all that stuff, I'm going to actually just show you the bee breeder, or the farm that we have up here. Now, I did build a very basic temporary bee breeder there where it was just manual. I even tried putting redstone and just gave up on the redstone because it just really wasn't helping. So we got about 10 hives in here full of bees, And this design is actually a little bit proud of. I got a somewhat tight modular bee breeding system in here that will work for both honeycombs and the actual honey bottles. Now, I've actually had to make some changes to it since I did it in the design world. Well, what I actually did is I went cheap. I tried to make it with less hoppers in this, and it just didn't work. So I had to come in later and make some adjustments to it. And I completely forgot, like, this observer here for some reason. I don't know how I missed it, but I had to come in and fix all those because none of them were working. But it's a pretty tight little build here, and it works with both the honeycombs and the shears, or the honey bottles and the shears. So honeycombs one side, bottles on the other. We will have plenty of honey from this. Back here is that area I was telling you about. That's another open little valley. As you can see here, we've got plenty of room to add stuff back here. We're thinking this is going to be our farming operation. We're going to move our crops here so that everything up front of the build can be part of the build. And we're wanting to make this aesthetic and make it feel like it's part of it too. So, but we got lots more to come. The detailing part is next. Hi there, buddy. How's it? Yeah, you got some grass for me too. Why don't you keep that to yourself or take it somewhere else? Anyway, so I think that's where we're going to leave it this week. We have definitely had lots of fun getting these things together, and it was a lot of work getting that gold farm operational, but we are ready for the detailing. So next week, this base here, which I actually already love a lot, is going to look a lot better. We definitely need to splash some more color and textures in here. It is bleeding together a little bit too much with just the darkness, and it is going to be amazing. So look forward to sharing that with everyone, and have a great week.